Schwarzenegger. Am I talking about the bodybuilder? Am I talking about the movie star? Who am I talking about here? Guys, welcome back again to another video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the book that I read, or actually the audiobook that I listened to. That's why I don't have it here with me. It's called My Unbelievable Life Story. This book from Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's an ode to dreamers. And this book, it's fantastic. First thing is that I want to mention is that normally with people that are very successful or that have made a lot out of their lives and then they make an autobiography, it's normally a lot of, look at me, I did all this, blah, 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 look at me, I've never made mistakes, I'm flawless, I'm a perfect human being, right? That's not the case here. Arnold Schwarzenegger is someone who really admitted his mistakes, but more importantly, he really said at what points in time people actually helped him when he was really in debt of someone, because without this person, without this help, with people getting him to America, he would have never gotten to America. Just right from the start, that's what I wanted to mention. This book, it's quite a thick book from Arnold Schwarzenegger. At least it's not 100 pages. For me, that's a lot. I'm a very slow reader. What do I mean with an ode to dreaming for dreamers? Really imagine this, all right? You are born in Austria. It's just after the war. Everyone is poor. Everyone is depressed. No one has any positive outlook on life whatsoever. They lost the war. So it was a very sad time. And then you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's being raised in this family, and he didn't know much about the whole world, but once he saw a video in class of America, he was just sold. He was like, wow, you see all these huge structures, I can see all these crazy things. He's like, that's where I want to go to in life. And then at some point I got exposed to bodybuilding at a young age. He found out he was quite good at it. He was even getting so good at it that his parents didn't like how much he was training out. They were like, Arnold, you have to stop, please don't work out as much. He was like, don't you understand? I have a vision here. I'm training for these competitions. With these competitions, I hope to go to UK, to America, and slowly that's how this Schwarzenegger, this muscle guy, right? There's much more to him than just muscles, let me tell you that. You have to understand this whole picture. It's so beautiful how Arnold at a young age, he started training for all these competitions, really found something that he's good at. Then slowly had people come to him and they were like, wow man, you really got talent, They were talking with him and he was like, oh, this is an exit strategy for me. This is something that I can use to go to the UK and then hopefully to the US and then see what happens. And it's beautiful. Then how, let's move ahead in the timeline a few years. He does all these shows, he becomes Mr. Olympia. He then is able to move to the US because he had a few sponsors, a few people who really believed in him. And, they were like, okay, with our help, we can get you to the US. We see potential in you. You have to train for your competitions. At the same time, he was doing acting classes because he knew he didn't want to do bodybuilding forever. At some point, he was like, I'm more than that. I know I can do more than that. So let's do it. He decided, okay, you know what? I'm here in the US by the grace of these few families. I'm gonna work in construction to earn some money. I'm doing acting classes at night so I can hopefully someday start my acting career. And at the same time, he was still being Mr. Olympia every year, So you have to imagine this is crazy. This guy is doing everything. He is working. He has this idea. He knows how to leverage his strengths into something that he can hopefully move on. He slowly moves into the acting career. And he was like, my muscles are not a bad thing. Even though you don't want the most jacked guy all the time for films, he said, no, this is actually a good thing, because now they can make new films with maybe very muscular guys. So think of like the Rambo and everything, right? He was like, my accent here as well is not a bad thing. Movie producers told him, we're not going to hire you because no one will no one will freaking understand you, Arnold, with your funny Wiener Schnitzel accent. And he was like, this is going to be a great thing. And as we all know, I'll be back. With the accent, that's of course one of the most famous catchphrases in cinema until now. So it's quite amazing how he stuck with his vision and in the end made it happen. And now you think, Fred, all right, I get it. Mr. Olympia, Mr. Schwarzenegger, he wasn't just this, he wasn't just that. Okay, what's your point? Well, listen up. This guy, he did this all with just a vision. I mean, imagine he was in Austria. He didn't have anything, but he did have a vision. He did have this idea of, I can see myself doing this in the future. So what do I have to do now? Now I have to do all these things so that I can make it happen in the future. And then It's fucking insane. I love it. He then didn't just stick to filming in America, to making movies. No, at some point he was like, I'm gonna marry a Kennedy. And he marries a Kennedy. And, you know, he's getting into this whole political landscape. He wanted to be governor of California. And everyone said, you are out of your mind. You cannot just become governor of California. Maybe start at a small local office, you work your way up, and after some success story, you might get that. He's like, no, I am gonna do this. I'm not gonna play small here, I'm gonna dream big. So what's the biggest thing I can do? Governor of California. And he won, he did it. And it's just insane how this man just keeps on making these huge steps with this vision of it's not always a good thing to just do small things all the time. Sometimes you need to make a big step because you have a big idea. Because a lot of the times the amount of energy it takes to do something big or to do something small is the same. Same with this political agenda, right? The whole energy and whole time to put yourself as a candidate, whether you do it for a small office or for a big office, it's probably going to be the same, right? Because I mean, there's so much overhead, there's so much things you have to do anyway. Again, I really want to get this message across. If you have this vision, this dream, this goal, anything you can think of, the first step is to just visualize it. Make it a dream. Think about the steps you have to take and then just go for it. You know, don't wait for the perfect circumstances. Don't wait for this or that, because that will never happen. At some point, you just have to make this jump and just go for it. And that's just all there is to it. And again, we're talking about this book here. I really recommend it because it really humbles Schwarzenegger, in my opinion, because you get a much bigger and better insight in what his whole mentality was throughout this whole journey of his. It wasn't just, I'm the best, I'm gonna do it all, I'm a superstar. He didn't think like that in Austria, and he probably still doesn't think like that, but he's making these moves nonetheless. And I thought this book was actually very humbling, especially when he talked about going to America and how he literally couldn't get there except by the help of these people that actually, believed in him. You'll never for yourself get people to believe in you if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting for perfect circumstances. At some point, you just have to do something and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, even if it doesn't work out right away, for people to really see that you're trying. Because the moment they see you never stop trying, that's the moment when people really buy your vision. It's like, oh, this guy doesn't stop no matter what, right? He just keeps on going. Well, he must surely enjoy it, and there must certainly be something that's on his mind that can maybe push him forward in the future towards something big. That's the main message here. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, last video, I don't know what's going on, but it just keeps exploding. I'm so thankful for all the new viewers that are coming in my channel, and hopefully you really enjoy this. I love just making these book reviews. I know sometimes it's a little bit serious, but there's just so much interesting stuff in these books, and I just want to share it with you all with my perspective of this book. It's not a summary, it's just a few things that I think are super interesting about this book that I just want to share with you, and hopefully you can take it with you and read the book as well. That's the goal here. Alright, thank you so much. Please leave a comment if you liked the video or if you hated it, Fred, I hate your videos, stop reading books. I will see you guys in the next video. Again, thank you so much. I'm really humbled by all the support. Thank you. As always, stay positive, be happy, Fred out.